going south. We're heading to Craig. See, the big animal got hit here. Man, that's got to be an animal. That looked like a beaver. Poor creature. Damn it. So we're right at the old town side of 4 Mile. The old town of 4 Mile was here. In a really, really neat area. The gold, the largest concentration of gold mines in Moffat County, north of Gregg, we're right in here. Probably 3 or 4 mines that you can see if you can swivel your head like I can, not a camera. We're right around here, and there were drainage ditches cut all the way from Black Mountain, which is over on our left, probably about 15 miles away, or maybe more. But they cut ditches to carry the snow melt from Black Mountain down here, and they hydrauliced a lot of the hillsides just right over on the other side of the road here. And they made enough money to put a town up. The town was functional for about 15 years, I think. 4 Mile. It's now just history. There are gold mines, placer mines, all around here. And out to our west there are several. And to the southwest there are several. Maybe 50 or 60, that were in operation at one time. The biggest problem with the gold mines in Moffat County is typical of a mine in the west. Lack of water. You need water to placer mine, and you probably need water to do any kind of mineral, classification, separating it. I built a little gadget a few years ago just to see if it would work. It was a fluidized bed separator, and I used it on black sand, and it did work, but it was really slow. And I could probably, I don't know, I lost interest in continuing dinking around with it. I guess I just got the feeling that maybe I was, looking at the wrong thing. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's a real neat area for those people that, like that kind of stuff. And you can go out and find interesting rocks. There are really interesting rocks out there in the sagebrush. And there's apparently gold still up there on Black Mountain. And there's obviously still gold out here in Moffat County. I uncovered a place a few years ago. That was pretty cool. It was neat to see one. I'd always wondered what they looked like. And they looked like what I thought they might look like, really. There's a picture of it on my website. it was in an area that had been mined, and it was just a little piece that they didn't get. They either didn't want it, or they just missed it. But yeah, my brother-in-law and I went out, and we kind of roughly sieved, I don't know, 2 or 3 5-gallon buckets of material. I've got this little screen, sort of it's kind of a hand-built screen, but it looks kind of like a high chair. But you can pour dirt down in the top of it, and it'll go through different size screens. And the idea is to get rid of the stuff that I obviously don't, that obviously isn't anything. We took that out there and we used it. Came back and panned it. And I had hundreds, maybe thousands of little, pieces of gold. It was quite a bit. It was quite a large number, but it was very small in weight. It takes a lot of that gold to amount to anything. But it's pretty neat. Not only that, but the black sand has a lot of radioactive material in it. And so a lot of the sand that I had was quite radioactive. I can't think of the mineral right now. It starts with a T. But it's not coming to mind. But it's really not too big of a surprise. There are several uranium mines around here. I'm actually speeding, and I've got 3 people on my ass. Just gonna get over and let them go, because I don't want them on my ass. So, go. And go. That looked like 3 people. That car top carrier fooled me. It looked like there was 2 vehicles. I couldn't see the whole thing. Anyway, I don't mind him going fast. I'm just not in the mood. Let's see, probably about 70, probably the low 70s here. Today is August 1st, 2023, and it is about 3:45 in the afternoon. So we're really at the hot part of the day. Typically, but we've had storms come in. It was probably warmer earlier. That builds the storms up. Apparently the water is boiling in the atmosphere today, because the UN says it's so, and I'm sure the media has all reported on the global boiling. Such bullshit. Anyway. No, I got rain on my windshield. It's probably boiling rain too. It's probably boiling right now. Let's see if it melts my windshield wipers now. No, it didn't. That's good. What a gigantic load of shit. I mean, I could see if the UN secretary, whatever the hell that idiot is, I could understand if he wore a diaper. Because a diaper should have a load of shit. Should contain a load of shit. That guy has got a diaper beat by a reasonable amount. It's the stupidity is stunning. I mentioned this before today a couple times, but I have a feeling that the global warming hoax has reached its apex. I think that it's downhill from here. I think it's hit its watershed moment. And I don't think it has any way to go but down. Because understanding that people on the left they're gullible as hell, and kids are gullible, they just are. There's going to be a whole lot of kids that see through this bullshit. They've gone too far. Global boiling. And did you know that the Biden, the illegitimate administration that was installed, a communist style takeover of 2020 when Trump got the election stolen from him, I actually forgot what I was talking about. I forgot my thread. That's funny. I'll remember it again. All right. Thinking about how to say that messed me up. Anyway, I think that the global warming scam is going to go down pretty badly now. I think they overplayed their hand. They must believe that the public, that the majority of the public are just a bunch of fucking idiots. And when I say that, I'm putting a lot of emphasis on it because that's what I think they believe. To try to pull off something that ridiculous, and keep in mind what else they were doing last week. They were trying to push the alien bullshit again. The U.S. was doing that garbage. Anyway, that was the stunning thing that they did. This weekend. I mean, stunning. I wonder if these guys are shutting down because of the lightning. Of course, it is almost 4 o'clock. They've probably been out here since 7. So yeah, I kind of think they what's the word? The popular term? They jumped the shark. And I think they're so stupid that they're going to report this for probably another week or two. And it's going to take them that long to realize that they're shooting themselves in the foot. That's my feeling about this one. That is so insane, what they had to say. Anyway, I'm just boiling over with thoughts about this. Brimming. Oh, boiling, brimming. So we're passing Fortification Rocks. It's a really cool igneous feature. Just some lava that squeezed up through a fissure. Well, I don't know how long it is. I mean, there's like about maybe 2 miles of these rocks you can see. They sort of head west-northwest from here. But you can see the start of them, at least what's uncovered, over on the left side of the road. I've been doing a lot of work out here. Look at that. The last time I was here, it was 2 weeks ago. Was it maybe 3 weeks ago? Yeah, it was 3 weeks ago. They were chip sealing in this pretty much this area. I was going to be clever. There are some dirt roads that go over these mountains that are shortcuts. They're slower and they're kind of rough. I didn't take one today because my windshield is cracked and it's slowly, I'm watching it, it's cracked about another 3/8 of an inch today. The crack is moving towards the center of the windshield. So I did glue it. I'm gonna have to replace it. Anyway, I didn't want to really push the windshield too hard today. So I stayed mainly on the blacktop. But I thought I was going to be clever last week. And so where the road came out was a few miles north of here. I turned off onto this road right where they were starting to chip seal. So I turned off, got on this highway, went right to a stop spot, a flag person stopping us. Thought I was being clever. Man, this is some rain, folks. This is a heavy one. We're gonna get hammered pretty hard. I think it's boiling though, so probably don't want to get out in it. It might, hurt. If it's still raining tonight, I'll have to set some eggs outside so that they can boil for supper. That way I won't have to use fossil fuels to heat them up. I'll just use the boiling water falling out of the sky. I'll just move really fast so I don't get burned. Okay, we're in another work zone. Yeah, this is a good storm. This is we occasionally get late summer and into the fall. We get weather like this in the afternoon where it'll be warm and it'll get hot in the morning and storms will boil up and there's enough moisture that this is what we get. All these guys are on motorcycles. They have fairings, so they're doing pretty good. Yeah, we're getting deep. Oh, dang it. I thought they would have this whole thing done. I didn't realize they, wow, they're not done yet. A lot of ways to go. Probably about 50 degrees out there right now. How would I characterize 50 degrees for someone who uses centigrade? 50 degrees would be really chilly. You know, if you had your, well, 50 degrees would be a little bit warm before your refrigerator. You want it closer to 30, I think 30 degrees. 50 degrees is still pretty cold. Drinking water would be pleasantly chilled at 50 degrees, maybe. Trying to think of something that you can extrapolate, because I don't understand. I mean, I understand the mathematical formula to come up with Celsius from Fahrenheit or vice versa, but I don't really do it enough to know that, like what 12 degrees Celsius might be like. But I would assume it'd be something like 40 or 50 degrees Fahrenheit, you know, cool temperature. Like a 40 degrees Celsius would be like a hot summer temperature, like 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Obviously, I understand the boiling. 212 degrees. But my windshield isn't melting. And it certainly doesn't feel like 212 degrees out there. Wow, that one came with a gust of wind. This part of the world is really not known for severe weather. We get rain occasionally. We've got hail this year for the first time in a few years. Just last week, I think. But there was one year in the late 70s or early 80s, one spring where it was just kind of weird weather. One day, there were, I counted 5 or 6 funnel clouds over Craig. They were real spindly little things. They never made it down to the ground. And then it seems like at that same year, I was working out at the power plant, and out west one afternoon, a storm like this was blowing in. And I saw what appeared to be a tornado out west. I mean, a classic tornado. I mean, very, wedge-shaped funnel look, moving. I'm pretty sure that is what I saw. just very unusual for this area. Typically, our severe weather is in the winter, and it's either heavy snow or it's extreme cold. This winter was quite the winter. We got a lot of snow. We did get cold, but we didn't get like record-setting cold. I think it was like 30. I think it was 40 below in Craig. At my house, my thermometer, I think, was 31 below. But I'm about 11 degrees warmer than downtown. So that wouldn't really surprise me. I don't know why these people are going so slow. Well, there's a lot of water on the road. Maybe that front car has got some not so good tires or something. But I'm not in a huge rush. I don't need to. I don't need to pass. Anyway, you can see the temperature. Yeah, it's probably about 55 or, yeah, about 55 right now. You can see what global boiling looks like. UN, media, all those people out there that they're pushing this bullshit. Yeah, I think that they really overplayed their hand. I just think well, I was saying this before in another little episode or session of filming, that I think that the climate hoax, climate panic hoax, is built on lies. But I think that they lie so much that they sort of get used to the lie, the current lie, and so when they add something to it, to them it doesn't seem like anything. But to people that don't believe it, you can see how ludicrous it becomes. For the UN, whatever, Captain Kangaroo at the UN, no offense to Captain Kangaroo, not the real guy, he was apparently a nice guy, I guess. But the guy at the UN, you know, I wouldn't trust him with something that I was going to throw away. I think that they get desensitized to the lies that they tell. So when they tell more lies and they become more absurd, which they have, this year especially, the hottest ever it's ever been. What was that? 650,000 people died last year in Europe because of heat. It was 65 or 650,000. It was absurd. And coming on the heels of that, the climate, it's not global warming anymore, it's global boiling. I don't think they understand how absurd their lies have become. To us that don't believe this, I have looked at this climate and global warming thing my entire life. I was intensely interested in weather as a kid. You know, we grew up, well, the years that I remember most, I was in Oklahoma where we had tornadoes, so forth. But I was really, really interested in the the global cooling crisis that was going on. I paid attention to that. I made special effort to pay attention to that. That was probably my first scientific thing. And I was not convinced as a little kid. I was sort of on the fence about it, like, well, I don't know. And in the later years, I realized that it was quite stupid. And when I looked at what the scientists were talking about doing to fix it, which was they were going to powder a black substance, likely made of carbon, likely found in seams, likely made from plant material that have been basically cooked into coal. Yeah, I think it's funny. They were going to take powdered coal, drop it out of airplanes on the ice caps up north, the North Pole, probably the Antarctic, probably everywhere. If you think I'm making that up, think again. Absolutely serious. That's what they were going to do. Sounds a little stupid, and it would have been incredibly stupid. One snowfall would fix that. Or it would get a little bit warm, and the coal would run off. It would run off. It would puddle up and run off. I mean, it wouldn't work anyway. But that's what the scientists were talking about. Now, when I say scientists, I'm probably not referring to the brightest or the best scientists. Maybe just the scientists that couldn't get out of making some statement. And this was back when the global warming thing had not been politicized. It was just a bunch of chicken littles that annoyed everybody worrying about stupid shit. Honestly, that's what it was. But they weren't the evil people that they are now. The people now, they know that global warming is bullshit. That Secretary General, he knows he's lying to people. He's just so damn arrogant and out of touch that he doesn't realize we know he's lying. The absolute lack of self-awareness these people have is quite stunning. So, anyway, I've seen this global cooling thing in 1 year switch to global warming, and then a couple years later, probably one of the worst criminals in the global warming movement, the hoax, Al Gore, who I think was the first one that weaponized it. You know, then I believe at that point, the evil, corrupt people that want to alter our government looked at it and realized that they could run with it for a while. And so it began. They politicized it. And here we are today, I think, at the watershed moment. Which is where people are going to turn away from it in droves. They already have been. I noticed the popular opinion on global warming is tanking. You can see it. You don't have to see you're not going to hear a report off mainstream media telling you that. But just look at what's going on in media, and then look what's going on in alternative media, and think about what that was like a couple of years ago. It's a huge difference. Global warming has become a big subject for the conservatives. Well, let me say it in a better way. The global warming hoax has caught the attention of most conservatives, and it is spreading. And I don't think they're going to stop it. Obviously, what they've done this year is so harmful to themselves that we couldn't have asked for better, really, us conservatives. These people, I think, have done more damage to their own ridiculous hoax, which I'm glad to see, by the way, than we could do. Oh, anyway. Feels like about 60 maybe here in town. I'm filling the side window. I've turned my air conditioning off. Just got too cold. So I'll run down Yampa Avenue to, this is Yampa Avenue, by the way, to Main Street in Craig, and then I think we'll end this video here. Yeah, that crack is now about 5/8 of an inch past that mark that I put on my windshield this morning. So I'm going to be getting a new windshield, it looks like. Well, it'll be nice for filming, you know, for the 30 minutes that I have it, that it isn't broken or chipped. And so this is the downtown area. It goes on for another couple blocks. This is the old-timey downtown in Craig. You've probably seen this if you've watched my videos. But anyway. Yeah, I'm going to need a windshield and a exhaust flange. I'm probably going to be, well, I'm not going to put the windshield in, but I will put the exhaust flange in, or the donut, the little gasket that is wearing out. Anyway, if you're going somewhere today, drive careful and watch out for that boiling water, you know, falling from the sky, or, you know, puddles of boiling water. Don't let your kids play in it. Be very careful. None of us want to get burnt. But if we do, it's our own damn fault, because we caused it, right? That's what they're telling us. We created this boiling water. I think, you know, the thing that it reminds me of is oobleck. If you've heard of oobleck, that's what they're selling us. They're selling us oobleck. The sky is falling, and it's oobleck, and it's because we were bad. Well, they weren't bad. We are bad. Their enemies caused this oobleck. Yeah, right. And if you don't know what I'm referring to, it's a Dr. Seuss story. Anyway, take care, and I'll see y'all later. Have a good one. Bye.